Hello and welcome to BISP Solution. So today we are going to continue where we left in the last session of our QuickBook desktop discussions. So we will continue our story forward. Before we moving our story forward, we are going to recall what we have learned or we have done yesterday or in the previous session. Okay, so we have created the company, the COA and the list item list. Okay, so now we move forward and we are now going to create the vendor. So owner Mr. Christopher Dawson has some vendors. So the first thing we are going to know about what is vendor. Basically, vendors are people or companies that we owe money to, or subcontractors that work for us. It means that suppose we are in a business of reselling goods. Okay, so we just buy goods from the wholesalers, or we just buy the goods from the company directly. We are going to spend it, we are going to resell it. So the wholesaler or the company is our vendors to us. Okay, vendors is like the peoples that we are getting some services or goods to transfer or supply to our customers. Okay, so the vendors are also known as accounts payable. Okay, accounts payable, as you know, there are many IAS and IFRS are available to determine the accounts payable. Accounts payable is of current liability person. Okay, because we were going to settle in within 12 months period, so it is defined in some IAS 39 and in IFRS 9. So we are not going to discuss what is defined in IAS 39 and IFRS 9 because it is a later part. I am just giving you the brief. So Mr. Christopher Dawson walk in the market and he saw some vendors. So he has come with 4 vendors. He just shortlist some vendors and come up to the Mr. Gabby to record the vendors information. So Mr. Dawson find which vendors. So we were going to move forward and show you this. Okay, so Mr. Christopher Dawson looked in the market and find these 4 vendors. Who is the vendors? John Stone, Stephen Mix, Cassie Hart and Moody Wood. He finds these 4 vendors. And the question will arise what this vendor will supply to us and what we will going to get the services from these vendors. We will discuss this latter part. First Mr. Dawson told Mr. Gabby, who is the head accountant of the Dream Multi Enterprise Inc. He told to record and to enter these information in the application. So Mr. Gabby will take us to the application and show you and navigate us where these vendors information will be recorded. Okay, now if you remember in the previous class I told you about how to take a backup. Okay, so now I will tell you that how to retrieve backup or how to open your company file, existing company file, if you are taking from your accountant's mail and or you are just moving to the other system you are going. So you can see here is the option, I want to open an existing company file. Okay, so in this part of your application you can open your existing file where you have created a backup or you have downloaded the file from the attachment of your email. Okay, so clicking on here you should navigate where it is recorded. So this is the type of file you will see, QuickBooks Compo QuickBook files type, and you have to retrieve this file in your application. Okay, when you click open up, it will take a little bit time and will open from the last transaction you have taken a breakup and or you have closed your company in the application. Okay, so after here you can see the file is open, and the last transaction you have done is you created the COA. Okay, so you can see that item list, we have created 2 item lists, and we have created the chart of accounts. So it will be better understand for you that this file is open up from the previous transactions we have just entered. Now okay, now Mr. Dawson asked Mr. Gabby to navigate to him to record the vendor's information in the application. So from the so he told from the main menu you will see the vendors. Here you click that and this options will open up. You can see that vendor center, and from the vendor center, now we will open the vendor center, and you can see that all the vendors we are going to record, it will show here on the vendor center options. You can see that vendor option. Okay, now we will just add vendors. Remember, we can add multiple vendor, we can add one by one vendor. So first we are going to add 2 vendors individually, then we will exercise about multiple vendors addition. Okay, here. Okay, so you will just remember what I am going to open up, because it will take, when we are going to add customers, you will see the same options available with slightly differences. Okay, so now we will open from here in the list. Before we move forward, you can see here on the vendors and transactions, whatever transactions we are going to do with the vendors will appear here with the names and with the invoice number. Okay, we will see later. Here on the vendors list you can see active vendors and all vendors. Suppose some vendors are inactive, so we don't want to see the inactive vendors, we want to see only active vendors, so we can choose this options. And this is the option, it is like a filter option, you can customize it. Okay, we move forward to add the vendors. On the new vendor option, just click it and click on new vendor. Now the option is open up. Suppose now who is our first vendor? Our first vendor is Mr. John Stones. Okay, we will write the name John Stones here. Okay, so if you are an existing business, okay, if you are an existing business person and you are moving to QuickBooks and you have some balances of a particular vendor, okay, so you can just write it opening balance as of can be of your last date when you close the books of accounts in your previous application, or you can just wrote the date as of when you are moving to this application. Okay, so we have no balances, so we will move forward. Now what is the company name? Company name is of Loyalty Enterprises. Okay, now here Mr., we will write the full name Mr. Okay, Mr. John, first name Stones. Okay, and now here you can see the job title. Job title is a thing that you are giving a title to a vendor. Suppose you are dealing with directly with the owner, so you should write the name here, the owner. If you are dealing with the administrator, you can write the administrator. Whatever the title of the vendor you are putting here, you can just write it here. We will leave this blank and we just write the phone number. What is the phone number? 830-258-741. 258-741. You can write the email. Here you can see there is a many options you want to write. There it is, home phone number, alternate phone, alternate. This is the options, you can add it more if you are in needed, depend on your requirements and depend on your vendor requirements. So now you will enter the email address of this vendor, royaltyenterprises@gmail.com. there is no work phone here, and we move forward here. Now here we see that build from, you can just click on the address of this vendor and write it. Okay, build from like Loyalty Enterprises, John Stone is the name, Loyalty Enterprises the company name, and the address, like suppose you should write for honor manor. Okay, the city is Dallas, the state is Texas, zip postal code is 75001, country is US, and you just click OK. So you will see this, that the build from is like the billing is coming from, it can be head office, it can be the it can be other than head office. And if the suppose you are getting billing from one place, but the goods are coming from other place, so you can just write the shift from, but right now we can copy it. Okay, and it is the same thing. Okay, now payment settings. So this is the option of address information. Okay, here you will write the address of the vendor. Now we move forward to the payment settings. Payment setting, it asks you for the account number, the payment terms, the credit limit, the billing rate level we can add it, the print name, whatever we are just issue the check. Okay, suppose we have we just leave the blank of account number, we will write the payment terms. Payment terms can be of various types, 1%, 10, net, 30. When we just move from the IAS or IFRS, we just see there is an Ind AS, sorry, I just don't remember, IAS 32 something. Okay, IAS 32. Okay, on the revenue, sorry, IFRS 15, it allows you to say that whenever you are just giving the discount in IFRS 15, you have to mention the payment terms and the discount terms. So you have to mention this here, like this is 1%, 10, net, 30. It means that if a person pays in within 10 days of the 30-day period, he will get an additional 1% discount. If he don't pay, he will not get the additional discount. So we just write the 1%, 10, net, 30. And what is the credit limit? We will give the credit limit to $50,000 to him. Credit limit, as we all know, that he gave us the limit that we can take the services or goods from him up to the maximum limit of $50,000. Okay, so now we move forward on tax setting. Here you will write the vendor's tax ID. We will just not put this ID, we will see on the later sessions. Okay, account setting, you can write expenses, whatever you want to write, and additional information. Vendor type can be just as discussed. The vendor type can be a wholesaler type, vendor type can be a reseller type, vendor can be a provider, anything it will. Okay, so now we will just write it. Okay, and you will see that we have just created the one vendors. Okay, so now, so what is this options are available? Okay, I will tell you after adding one more vendor. Okay, now suppose again new vendor, and we will quickly just do this thing. Stephen Mix, company name to Philosopher Trading, Mr. Stephen Mix. No, oh sorry, no, phone number is 8307851 email can be philosophertrading@gmail.com. We'll quickly add. You can pause it and you can just add those vendors if you want. Again, here we will come 78 Ottery, Catchpole, Oxnard. Okay, Okay, again payment setting, we will do this 1% and not 30. Credit limit is of $45,000, and we are not doing this, and we can write. So you can see here that I just added two vendors here. Okay, so now you will see the two vendors. Okay, now this is the two vendors. Now here you can see the transactions, contacts. You want to add more contacts of this particular vendor, you can do so. Notes is like of, you want to write that certain vendors is of allergic to something, or he don't want to disturb between these working hours, you can write it. Okay, suppose I will write manage notes. I will write the add a new note. Okay, I will write for the John Stone that he don't disturb in between 12 to 2, we will just 2 to 4 p.m. 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Okay, we will just write this, and we will just that and stamp it and click on OK. And now you can see this only John Stones have that note and no for the Stephen Mix. This is the basic, this is the options of available here. Here you can see that new transactions, if you are entering bill or paying bill, that we will see here. From this you can see you can enter, print the vendor list or vendor information or vendor transactions. This part we will discuss later. And you can see that if you want to prepare letter to Stephen Mix about something, like suppose you just issue the letter to Stephen Mix that please give me some quotation or anything related to a particular product or services, you can send him letters that only this amount is left, or you can customize it. Okay, and you can bill track here as well from this. Okay, you can track it here from how many open bills is available and how can this is the options of vendors informations. Now the next step is to create multiple vendors. Now we'll just go and we will create two multiple vendors quickly, so it will not take more time. Okay, now you can see that there is not available of the credit limit, no availability of payment terms here. Okay, so now how will you just add this address? So you have to go and customize the columns. Here you can customize the column. Okay, you can customize the column terms. You just click and add here credit limit, add. Okay, and now you will see that you can just click on this account, this any particular options, and just click on remove. But if you go and see on the vendor's name, it will not allow you to remove. Okay, so this is the options on, this is the QuickBooks desktop default settings, that it will not allow you to remove the vendor name column. Okay, we will just click on OK, and we will, and you can see that everything is come up here. Okay, so now we move. If you have done on the sheet, you can just copy it, paste it, and move copy paste it, and it will not take any time. Okay, we will just add it. Okay, what are the name? Casey Hart and Moody Wood. We will write Casey Hart, Moody Wood. Okay, again you can pause it here and you can just practice by yourself. Okay, so Amazing Private Limited and Retina Ops. Amazing Private Limited, Retina Ops. Here of course Mr. Casey Hart. Here also Mr. Moody Wood. Okay, the number 957236. Okay, again here 654788. So now the address, we're moving to the address Amazing Private Limited. Here we will write Retina Ops, Cassie Hart and Moody Woods. Cassie Hart and Moody Woods. What is the address? Address is 74 Shell Cottage, 74 Shell Cottage, and here is 12 Grey Mold Place, Slab City. Dallas, Texas 75051. Here California 93033, 92233. Okay, again we move forward here. If you done this working, if you just add on the working sheet, it will be lot lesser for you, because you can just copy and paste it and move forward. Okay, okay, now you make the save cache changes and it will show you that 2 vendors is added, and just click on OK and close, and now you will see that all the 4 vendors are just added on your vendor information. Okay, so now you can see this. Okay, so now this is how the vendors is added. Now just one thing is that when you click on the one vendor and you don't want this vendor to bother you, or just this you end the relation with this vendor, you just click on vendor is inactive and move forward and okay. Okay, now this is the vendors part. Now we move forward that Mr. Christopher Dawson has already contacted some vendors. Okay, now the most important thing is that he already contacted. Now where he moved to to give services or to resell his products. Okay, so now he just have some contacts and he will move forward to the vendor, to the customers. Okay, so now he moved to the customer. So what is the customer? A customer can be an individual or can be a business who buys the products, or we give the who take the services from us. Okay, anything that we sell or give or render services to a person, he is known as customers. Okay, so how many customers he will he initially find out? He find out these 4 customers. Okay, so now we will just move forward and we'll show you one customer. Okay, how will we add customer? Okay, Mr. Dawson asked Mr. Gabby to show or navigate how can we add the customers. Okay, so before he he move to the application and he just say that on the main menu you will see the customers options, and you just click the customer center. And what he will see, he see that the customer center and the vendor center is same. with a little bit differences. Like you can see that on the left hand side there is name, balance, and to an attachment. You can, on the vendor side there is nothing, remember, nothing for the attachment. So okay, customer is also a accounts receivable. We just from whom we will receive the payment. Okay, so now I will tell you step by step what is the differences between the customer information and between the vendors information. Here this is the first difference, attachment. You can see that on the customers here you will see that you can option it overdue invoices and almost due invoices. Overdue invoices are those invoices that gone beyond the date, and almost due invoices are those invoices that are coming to be due. So you can filter it from here. Now from this options, new customer, you will see the add a job. Now what does this means, the job? We will see the letter, but I will tell you the brief. The job means, suppose you assign a customer to do a particular job, but you are just you just create the invoice to a particular job. It can be a subcontract job as well. Okay, so the add job, so this is the meaning of the add job in here. Now you can add multiple customer, add a job here, as we are already done. So we will just create one customer first. So now you will see that customer address information is same as the vendors information. So we will just quickly write the first customer here, who Miss Fairy Wings. Okay, Fairy Minx, our first customer. Okay, what is his company's name? Ideal Private Limited. So we will write Miss Fairy Minx. If we want to give the job title to this particular customer, we can give it, as we already discussed in the vendor information. We move forward quickly. Okay, main phone number is 830-254-136. Main email is Ideal Private Limited. Okay, we just move forward here. Again on the address, we will write the address. Just click on I am just using this pencil option because it will give you more space and more clarity to write the invoices. Okay, if you just write it here, it will be clumsy and unreadable to you as well when you create the invoice. Here you will see the two options as well: invoice bill to or ship to. Invoice bill to is that suppose he just ordered online something, and but he or she wants to deliver this particular item on a different place, so you have to write to address. In most cases the same address is given, but in certain cases you have to just write the invoice bill address different and the bill address different. So we'll write here quickly. We will add sorry. So 25 Bella Vista, Quilican. 25 Bella Vista, Quilican, Helena. Okay, city is Montana. Again we will write state also Montana. 59623 here. Country region is US, and we click on OK and we move forward. Now we just copied same address here. Okay, now we will see the payment settings. Now here you will see the payment settings are different a bit. Only the above these options were available here, not the credit card information. The QuickBooks allows us to receive payments directly, as we have discussed in the previous session. Okay, but this is the information, credit card information is provided to us because certain customers paying us through the credit card, so we have to just record the credit card and all the information related to it, so we can receive it. And we can receive online payments as well. Okay, credit card options is there, and ACH is different. ACH is done in the US. Okay, so now account number we don't have. We will write the payment terms. We will send him one, and we will write only 75,000 to him, and we move forward to sales tax settings. This is the options we will going to discuss afterwards, when we have much understanding of the applications and the IFRS and IS of course. Additional information: the customer type. If he is a customer type of suppose he is a customer type of a retail, we are just put the retail, and what he represent we can add it here. Job information, like we have discussed, if we add the job title, we have to give the detailed information about the job, and you can see the customer is inactive, as same as vendor is inactive. Okay, we just put leave is the blank, and we move forward. And now you can see that Ferry Minks is added to a customers list. Now we are just going to I'm just moving fast, and I show you how to multiple the customers. Okay, we will see the add multiple customer jobs here. Again, you will able to see that these are the same thing as we have done in the vendors options. Okay, I am just moving forward because this is the, because the what I can say, the parameters or the detail or all the options are same as customers, except few different few things that I am just telling you while I am doing the while I'm recording these things. Okay, here you will also customize the column. Same name cannot be removed, of course. Okay, so now here we will see the terms. We will add the terms. We will add the customer date here. Okay, and we click on OK, and now we will write the whole address quickly. Now we have three more: Jennifer Gomez, Sal Caro, Steve Falma. Jennifer Gomez, Steve. I am just using for customers and vendor because it will give you clarity when we perform certain transactions. That's why I am adding this. It will take a lesser time if you made in the Excel sheet. Okay, so you can pause it and practice it if you want to do with me, along with me. By doing adding this, you will see that there is a lot of less manual work you will do when you just this is the one time. If you make a sheet, working sheet, it will be easier for you to add this. we just write quickly because it will take a lot of time. We have to do something more. And now we can see this the address. If we just write this here and we will add it. And we will just give this information about okay, it will take a lot of time. Okay, we just move forward. 1% here, 2% that not 30 and 2%. Okay, so we just move it here. And what is the credit limit? It is giving 55,000 and we will just give 35,000 and you are giving on 40,000. Okay, and you can see that our 3 records is open and you can see that a close option. Okay, so now you will able to see now we have already added our 3 customers, and now we move forward to record some transactions. Okay, so now this is the before we moving forward, I am just to give you an we will just before moving forward, Mr. Christopher Dawson, what Mr. Christopher Dawson told Mr. Gabby that he will introduce some funds on the first day of a fiscal year is of rupees is of $45,000. So he is just initially giving the funds. So as we all know that we have to write some journal entries while we performing when we are not entering invoices or payments. Okay, so Mr. Dawson asked Mr. Gabby to navigate and record the first general in the application. So Mr. Gabby told him you can go to the company options and see the Mac general entries. Okay, so now here you will see the Mac general entries. So he explained the format of the general. So you will be able to see that all the options are available here. If he is doing the adjusting general entry, he will just check the box and the adjusting entry is come, and if you want to reverse any entry, he can reverse it from here. And if he wants to memorize certain entries, that will do. It is known as recurring entries, like the depreciation entry he can do from here. That we will see how this memorize transactions work. Okay, and if you want to change, but he wants to create a certain copy, he can create as well from here. Okay, and from the reports he can see that. So Mr. Dawson asked him to record the first entry of the business that he introduced the money. So Mr. Gabby will record the first entry from Citibank LS Las Vegas. He record, and what is the deb? He just write 45,000 and move, and just give the memo that the owner, Mr. Dawson, introduced funds in the business. He will just give the name if there is a name is available. If suppose you are writing any repair or maintenance or telephonic expenses entry, you can just give the name of the particular vendor whom you are just giving for your own brief, and if it is billable, you can just check the box and move forward. Now he said just tab it, and the opposite entry will go to opening balance equity. Okay, and after that he said save and close if you don't want to write any entry, and if you want to continue, just write 7 new. One more thing, Mr. Gabby told Mr. Dawson that when you just say close, save and close, it will appear that you have entry number 2. Okay, and Mr. Dawson said okay. Mr. Dawson said okay. He said prove it, and Mr. Gabby just click save and close, and will go to the company options and show it that the general entry number 2 is appear. Okay, so now Mr. Dawson asked Mr. Gabby about that where is, if I want to see the balance, both effect, the bank effect and the balance equity effect, where I can see. Mr. Gabby told about the trial balance and the ledger balances. The ledger balances are the balances which will go directly from the which will go directly from the general to ledger and to trial balance. As we already known, as we already discussed in IAS 1 presentation of financial statement, it show you initially it start from general to end to the financial statements, but this is the initial and the closing stage. What is the middle? First we write the general, then we write the ledger, and we move forward to the trial balance. So Dawson asked his accountant to show the format of the trial balance. So he will navigate it in the application from the reports options. He will see that from the accounts and taxes, and he'll show the trial balance. So now, and he just checked the all entries, and the expected amount is available. You can see the debit balance of $45,000 and the opening balance equity of 45,000 are available in the trial balance that we have just entered. So now Mr. Dawson wants to Mr. Dawson wants this trial balance to be customized on the icon bar, so he don't move here and there. So Mr. Gabby told him to click on the view options and add trial balance to icon bar, and click OK, and just close it, and this will come up directly when he will open up. So this is how the trial balance work. So now Mr. Christopher Dawson asked Mr. Gabby how to see the particular ledger. So Mr. Dawson explained, from the trial balance you can double click on a particular ledger and you will able to see this. All the options are available, all the transactions by account. Suppose you can see the Citibank Las Vegas entries are available. Whatever entries he will just put along with that. Okay, so now Mr. Dawson asked to enter the first invoice. Okay, So but before recording the first invoice, Mr. Gabby explained some IS and IFRS to Mr. some points of IS and IFRS to Mr. Dawson about the revenue recognition. So Mr. Dawson say IS 18. He told that in the initial days of international accounting standards, the IS 18 IS 18 is of revenue, for the revenue what, revenue that outlines the accounting requirements for when to recognize revenue from the sale of goods, rendering of services, and for interest, royalties, and dividends. It is measured at FV of the consideration received or receivable and recognized. So he told Mr. Dawson that in the past, in the initial accounting standard days, the revenue is recognized when he sell goods, or when he perform the services or he get interest, royalties, or dividend. It is measured at fair value. That means that what amount he just, suppose he just create the invoice of $100, so this is the fair value of $100. So the business will record the transaction at that value of $100. As we are working on the accrual basis, when the income earned, we will record the transaction. We will see accrual versus cash in the next or in certain sessions, but we will follow the accrual principles, and we will record when we will record the entries when we are just when we enter the when we render. So we will record the revenue as soon as we earned it, okay, whether we received or not, okay. So after that, he told that after IS 13, IFRS 15, revenue from contracts with customers is replaced from the effective period of 1st of January 2018 with some modifications. So Mr. Dawson is now confused and asked, please explain the revenue from contracts with customers. So Mr. Gabby explained the IFRS 15 that there are 5 steps. There are 5 steps to recognize the revenue, and he told that this is the standard which is applicable to whole of the whole universe, or you can say the whole international financial reporting standards. It is followed in every country. So this is the 5 most important step to recognize the revenue. So he explained this, that first he has to identify the customer whom he is providing services, or he is just selling the goods. So he and then I have to perform the obligations. Obligation is like, suppose a promise in a contract that he will transfer it. Then price, of course, without a price there is nothing of a contract. Then allocate that price in performance obligations and the price. And of course the fifth and the last option is to recognize the revenue. Okay, so whenever Mr. Dawson has to record the transaction in the QuickBook application, he has to remember these 5 steps. Okay, so now we will write so we have few limited time. We will move forward. We move forward and we will write 1 or 2 invoices in our application. Okay, so this is the first invoice to a application is that on 1st January the company Dream Multi company will provide financial services to Miss Fairy Minks on account for 10 hours. That is means that Miss Fairy Wings is not going to pay you, but but we have to record the transaction because we are performing the services. So Mr. Gabby will record it, and from the transaction here, so Mr. Gabby will Mr. Gabby will go and will record transaction from the main menu on the customer options here on the create invoices. So Mr. Dawson asks that I don't want to dig in more deep to find create invoice. He wants the icon bar. So Mr. Christopher Dawson will Mr. Gabby will do the same exercise from the view and add create invoices to icon bar with OK. Now Mr. Gabby will record the first invoices. So from the main menu, Mr. Fairywings. Now as soon as you click Mr. Fairywings, as soon as you click Mr. Fairywings, you will see on the right hand side that the information of a customer is comes up. If we already having an existing balances of a particular customer or active order or sell order, it will show up here. The transaction will also show up here and the notes is so here. Like we have recorded any customer, it will come up show here. Okay, and the first thing is that the invoice will change it as soon as you are recording more. Okay, we will record the first invoice on 1st of January. Okay, 1st of January we will what is the item is of financial services. So we have created already created this items. So $250 is the rate. We perform 10 hours time, so 250 hours, $250 hour. So we will issuing a invoice number 1 to Miss Fairywings of a financial services of 250 hours. When you click save and close, okay, we will just okay, we will see. You can see just what I am just explaining you about the IAS 18 revenue. So when this IAS 18 followed directly, here you can see as soon as I just record the invoices, it will show up the accounts receivable of 2500 here on the debit side and on financial income of 2500 here. It recognized it here. Okay, so this is the standards we are followed along with application, along with the standards. So both have to followed parallelly. Okay, so we have more time, we can just record more transactions. Okay, so for better understanding, we just close it here. And now on January 2, we provide legal services to Miss Jennifer Gomez for 6 hours on account. Again, we are creating the invoice. Whenever you say, whenever the option comes up that we are creating an invoice or we are just giving an on account, it means that we are just there is nothing mention of the payment. You just issue the invoice. Okay, just remember I am using the invoice. In QuickBooks, invoice means that you are issuing to your customer. Okay, so we will record second invoice. Here we will just go again. You can see the invoice option is changed. You have to change the date. The invoice number will change automatically, but on manually you have to change the date. So Jennifer Gomez, we provide legal services. Okay, we'll just click on the legal services. 6 hours we have provided, and we just see, we click on save and close, and now we will see the trial balance, and the trial balance amount accounts receivable show is $3,400, and what it shows the opposite account is legal income is of $900 and financial income is $2,500. What if we just this is the we are issuing one invoice of a one service. What if we are giving various services to one customers? Can we just issue the invoice of various services? Can we just issue one invoice with two or more services? The answer is yes. So next example is on January 3rd, we provide legal services of 5 hours and video services of 4 hours to Mr. Salcaro. Okay, 5 and 4. Okay, so we just close these options and we just create invoices. The date we are going to change on 3rd January, and you can see on the customer we will choose the Salcaro. Okay, now item number 3, 5 hours of legal services and 4 hours to financial services. Now when we save and close, and now we will go to the trial balance. Now you will see that the account receivable balance is increased to $5,150, and the legal income, financial income will increase according to their automatically to their balances. Okay, so now we will so you just pause the video and practice this two invoices. Okay, so now I will tell you how to stay here without again opening here. You can see on the 4th of January, provided legal services to Miss Fairy Wings. Again we are just issuing the invoice to Miss Fairy Wings of legal services of, we have 8 hours given. Okay, now you can just click 7. Now you can see on the right hand side the opening balance of $2,500 when we issue on 1st of January. So if we paid this, there will be a lesser amount or nil amount, and but the recent transaction can be available here. You can see the report from here. When you can run quick report, you can just click it and it will show you the balance of Miss Fairy Wings. Okay, we'll just close it and we click 7 new. So we will stay here and we will write a last example. So Jennifer Gomez, we provide it on 5th of January, 3 hours of financial services. Okay, and we click 7 close, and now we will see our trial balance is 7,102 accounts receivable. So no bank balance is changed. Why it is not changed, we will see later when we receive the payment from the customers. So now we have just recorded the invoices and we just done with IS 18 or IFRS 15 as well. So we will just end this session here and we will continue tomorrow the session with receiving the payments of from customers. So thank you for joining the session.